So yesterday I said that Noah Lyles would maybe fall on his face because he was pushing out his chest a little bit too much and bragging and boasting. But the man has really shut me up. I have to admit that.
It can take 10 seconds or less to change your lives. And we saw that. Guess what? Our men are back in form. Welcome to another episode of Paris Today, powered by Flow. I'm your host, Trishana Mogowan. Back with me, I think him get used to and love me by now, Daniel Blake, sports reporter from the Jamaica Observer. Good afternoon.
Hi. Hello, Trishana.
Davian Nugent, track and field analyst and radio host. Welcome back.
Good to be here. Good to be back.
You're excited like me because I am excited because we have a man, Kishane Thompson, on the podium, right? But then I know Jamaicans are not very pleased because Noah Lyles from the United States is the winner of the men. He's the champion, the Olympic champion in the 100 meters. Let me start with you, Daniel. Yeah, I'm happy that we are back in a top form.
I don't think anyone should be sad.
Have you seen social media?
I think, let me tell you, I think if Lyles wasn't the winner, I think there'd be more jubilation from Jamaicans. I think even if Fred Curley had won, Tebogo, even if Jacobs had surprised the field and won. But I think it's because Lyles has been going around calling himself the fastest man in the world. And
he has backed it up.
He has not, but he has shown that he's the best in the field. Once you're the Olympic champion, you can't argue with that. Obviously, Kishane himself looked disappointed because he himself said he made a mistake, but he should also understand, which I think he will, is that this is his first major championship, and to come into a final with these names, to get the Olympic silver and to be pipped on the line, I don't think that's anything disappointing at all. So there shouldn't be much disappointment from Jamaicans, but obviously Noah taking that title is gonna cause that.
I've seen social media and many are, of course we're excited. We have a medalist, but we're so spoiled, as well as we see it as war, not like physical war, but sports war. And Noah has run with the tag, fastest man alive. I don't believe he's the fastest man alive, because the fastest man alive, for me, just my opinion, is still Usain Bolt.
Not an opinion, that's a fact.
Okay, so it's a fact. I don't know if the United States people agree, but for me, Usain Bolt is still the fastest man alive as the world record holder, 9.58 seconds, 1.19 in the 200 meters. But Noah, he has backed himself in terms of saying, yo, I'm the man to beat. I'm going for this title. And I like to say he has talked himself into becoming Olympic champion, because in my panic, he did not panic.
So yesterday I said that Noah Lyles would maybe fall on his face because he was pushing out his chest a little bit too much and bragging and boasting. But the man has really shut me up. I have to admit that. He shut me up.
Him shut up. Jamaicans and even some of the you see, the thing is, him shut up even some of his US people, because they were...
Him and the NBA guys at war as well.
Yeah.
For what reason, I don't know.
So really and truly, he's backed up his talk. And when somebody talk and then back it up, you can't begrudge them. He's backed up his talk. He's done what needs to be done. He's not only talk, no, he's walked the walk, and he's the Olympic champion. End of story.
You see me? I'm not easy for shame, right? I'm not easy for shame. But the minute he crossed that line and I saw the torso, I too was waiting. But the minute I saw the torso and they, said that he's the Olympic champion, I just quickly say, "Oh, congrats and keep it moving." Yeah.
That race was probably the first men's 100 meter that had me speechless since 2008. It was, for some reason, I was almost watching it in slow motion because I saw everything, even oblique, the way he sort of faded out. Marcel Jacobs and Fred Curley had two of the best starts I've seen in an extremely long time. And then seeing Noah just creep up, right? It was just strange. And I saw I saw Kishane running, but I saw Noah just creeping and creeping and creeping. I'm just like, so even when he crossed the line and everybody was looking at the board, I was just like, Noah looked like him take it, because that 200-meter speed that he's
And the
acquired,
strength that it helps.
yeah, he just always manages to do that, and it's almost scary, which is probably why he thinks he's the fastest man in the world, because if he actually gets the start, can you imagine what he can do? Obviously, Kishane made some errors.
Yes, he did.
But Noah definitely today proved that he is an all-time great.
I don't know. When you said all-time great, man.
He is.
Right? Before we get into that, many Jamaicans, right? I think that whenever you're given a platform, it's your job to educate, even though they might not care knowing our Jamaican people. But you know that they've been saying, I aim for win, and then they give Kishane first. So Jamaicans, my lovely people, it's not the hands, it's not the toes. You say up here, so your chest, it's hard, so upper body. I saw Noah they go. And he got ahead of our Kishane car.
It was almost like this across the line. He was dipping deep, and I think Kishane made a mistake there as well. Other than the other things that he did wrong in the race, he timed his dip wrong, and he did not dip deep enough. So Lyles wanted it more, and he dipped and got it. Simple
And he ran a personal best to get that goal.
And this is why championship experience also counts, is that Kishane has never run a race where he's had to dip. It reminds me a lot of Asafa in his early days as well, where he always finished so far ahead of the pack that when it came to that championship race, it was just like, I should have probably dipped here or there. So he's going to fix this. 2025 is literally months away. So no disappointment. He shouldn't feel that getting that silver medal, but Lyles proving again that experience, not just in the 100, but in the 200 matters.
I think that as well. Credit to Oblique Seville, a personal best in the semifinals. Noah Lyles ran 9.79 seconds. A personal best to get that crown. And I think that, there's no words that will provide comfort, gentlemen. For Oblique, that is. You cover the field, you beat this man in Jamaica again in the semifinals. Then now showing up to the final, not being able to replicate any of what you would have done. You're going to be left heartbroken. But I think that in order for him to have gotten on that podium, he would have to repeat what he did in the semifinals or better. And that was a tough ask for him.
Yeah, and let's not make it seem like he ran slow. He ran 9.91. This is the first 100 meters where all of the men have gone under 10 seconds, which is one of the reasons why this race almost left me speechless, because in years gone by, Oblique would either be on the podium or just thereabout. To run 9.91 in an Olympic final and finish 8th, like Kenny Bednarek running 9.88, finishing 7th, right? So it's obviously going to be disappointing for him, especially knowing the previous 2 years coming forth and his form heading in, especially in that semi-final. We thought, wow, him and Kishane really going to go at it. But
it's hard, man.
It really matters, who turns up on the day, and unfortunately it wasn't his day.
Yeah. Toughy, man. But anyhow, like I said, the man them hit back top form. The 200 meters, before we get into the women this morning, because I'm happy that all the 400 meter hurdles for women and the men's sprint hurdles, even though Hansel Parchment tried to give us a heart failure, I don't know what that was about so early in the morning, but they're safely through to the next round. The 200 meters, we were one woman short, stressed out again, but I wasn't completely stressed because I expected the uncertainty, because she would have pulled out of the 100 meters. If you've been following, that the season has been that yin yang for her. And based on stuff that Stephen Francis would have said, I have said that I don't trust him just for this period. And he has proven me right.
Like, say for example, Chishana, you have a boyfriend and he's usually very late to events, right? And you're at the restaurant waiting, thinking that he's going to show up. You're done dress up already. when he doesn't show up, you're still disappointed, even though you sort of expected it. I feel like that's with Sharika as well. She's had her concerns over the season, and even pulling out of the 100, and we hear that she's going to focus on the 200. We're like, oh no, but at least she can come out for the 200. The news isn't surprising, but it's still kind of heart-wrenching because we really wanted to see her compete, and we really wanted to, not just for her to redeem herself from Tokyo 2021, but after becoming world champion in 2022, 2023, going very close to that world record, it really, really is disappointing for me. And, you know, I really wish that, you know, life wasn't like that, but that's track and field.
It is. The two women though, Lana Tava Thomas, as well as Nisha Berger, safely through to the next round.
Safely through. The job was to ensure that you're in the automatic qualifying spot, and you don't have to come back. And they did the job. The job is to qualify to the next round. You don't have to win. And they went up against very good competition, Gabby Thomas and co. Did the job, got through to the next round, and now the next job is in the semifinals to get to the finals. You're in the finals, anything can happen.
Yep.
And another woman who we probably expected a lot from, Natoya Gould, in the women's 800 meters, looked good for about 500, 600 meters, Trishana. But just from your perspective, what do you think went wrong for her in those final moments?
You see, the thing is, I didn't run the 800 meters. But you do the sport, so you do everything pretty much, even in background training. You become tactical and strategic. And I thought that for Guli, she allowed herself to get boxed in, because I think that was the athlete from South Africa. I don't remember which country, but she came on the shoulders of Guli on the inside. And I was like, Guli girl, you can't allow that.
To come on your inside.
On the inside.
That's the ultimate sin. Somebody come on your inside.
Yeah, for angler. And I thought that for me threw her off, because otherwise, similar to what we saw in the heats, she looking good and comfortable. She was in that position. But that one moment, I thought, they now sandwiched her and threw off her game.
But Trish, what do you say to the folks who say this is not unusual for her?
It's not unusual, but this time they usually swing wide in a lane 2 and pass her. Homegirl came on the inside, angle that. And when I say angle that, you don't have to become even physical. No. You just take command. The next thing the people go so.
And by the way, we should let the viewers know that Natoya Gould has filed an appeal. We'll see how that goes. So she potentially could get in the final. She, claiming that there was obstruction. So hopefully the officials are on our side. Just let's end quickly on the men's 400, because Javon Powell, our only man to...
Am I allowed to do that?
I don't know.
I'm sure you are. The only man safely through, DeAndre Watkin and Sean Bailey will have to go to the repechage round. Any surprises there?
Well, I don't know about surprise, because once you saw the quality of the guys that were coming to the 400, you know that it was always going to be difficult for them to get the automatic spots. If I called a surprise, it would be for Sean Bailey, who ran 44.6 and has to come back. I mean, how do you run 44.68 in the first round and not make it? Even in the top 4, you finish 5th. So the quality was very good. I think he has a genuine shot, though, of making it in the repechage round. However, he's going to have to run one extra round, and that's going to kill his legs for the semifinal. So it's going to be tough if he does indeed advance.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we'll look to see what will happen.
Yeah.
I think that, if he can repeat that 44 or faster, tough ask, but we just might end up having 2 semifinalists. So make sure that you stay locked into the track and field. We're stepping up. We're getting better. Looking to claim some medals. Tomorrow is more about qualification. Yeah. I think in the 400 meter hurdles for men, discus throw for men, the women's 400 meters. So pure action continues. And, athletes are always going to give off their best, right, gentlemen?
Like always, we are Jamaica.
So we end on a high. You're happy with the silver. Me happy with the silver.
I'm very happy with the silver. First 100 medal for Jamaica's men since 2017. 7-year drought, we broke it. Let's see. Let's go.
Daniel, your final take?
Yeah, and I'm sure Mitchelton and MVP should be quite excited for Kishane as well, and knowing that this is just the start of many.
Yeah, I agree with you. So make sure that you don't just watch way. You must leave your comments, communicate with us. We look forward to the feedback, and tell us how you're enjoying the championships as well. And if your medal count is going according to plan. So stay tuned to our channel across all platforms for everything from Paris. So thank you so much for tuning into Paris Today, powered by Flow. I'm your host, Trishana McGowan, and with me was Daniel Blake, sports reporter from the Jamaica Observer, and Davia Nugent, track and field analyst and radio host. Join us again next time.